Hi guys, good morning all of you. In this video, we are going to discuss about the IR spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy. In previous classes, we have already discussed about UV spectroscopy. Okay, in UV, the absorption of light radiation. The absorption of light radiation in a molecule, we are observed the electronic transitions. Electrons jumps from ground state to excited state. But whereas in the case of IR spectroscopy, the absorption of radiation in the region of IR spectroscopy or IR region that is used to bring out the vibrational and rotational changes in a molecule. Vibrational and rotational changes in a molecule. Okay, therefore IR spectroscopy is that infrared spectroscopy. Infrared spectroscopy. Okay, due to IR region radiations, there is a changes in vibrations of molecules. There is a changes in vibrations and rotations of molecules. Vibrational, rotational changes occurs in a molecule. Due to the vibrational and the rotational changes, what happened? Due to the vibrational and the rotational changes, we will calculate or determine all function group present in a molecule. The main importance of IR spectroscopy is to determine the all function group. Suppose alcohols, OH function group. Cyanides, Cn function group, isocyanates, Mc function group, carbonate compounds, CH4 function group. Like that, all function group which are present in a molecule easily determined by IR spectroscopy. The most advantage and use of IR spectroscopy is to determine function group in a compound. The most advantage of IR spectroscopy is to determine functional group in a compound. Functional group in a compound. Okay, that is the most advantage of IR spectroscopy. Okay, therefore, what is the region? What is the range of the IR spectroscopy? Is the range of IR spectroscopy. Is what is that? That is 4,500 centimeter inverse to what is that? 550 centimeter inverse. The range of IR spectroscopy is what is that? 4,500 centimeter inverse to 50 centimeter inverse. Okay, therefore IR spectroscopy mainly classified into three types. One is near IR region and mid IR region, and the third one what is that? Far IR region. Near IR, okay, mid IR region and far IR region. That is IR spectroscopy. The range of the IR spectroscopy can be classified into what is that? Three regions. One is what is that? Near IR region, and the second one mid IR region, and the third one what is that? Far IR region. Okay, what is the range? The range is 4,500 to what is that? 15,000. 4,500 what is that? That is 2,500 1500 centimeter inverse and 1500 to 667 centimeter inverse and 667 to 50 centimeter inverse. 50 centimeter inverse. That means the near IR region is 4500 to 1500 centimeter inverse. Therefore, mid IR region is 1500 centimeter inverse to 667 centimeter inverse. 667 to what is that? 50 centimeter inverse. That is the far IR region. Far IR region. Okay, this is the classification of IR region. Okay, therefore already what is that? We have observed what is that? When any molecule which absorbs the radiation in IR range, or in IR region, there is a what is that? Vibrational and rotational changes occurs in a molecule. Rotational changes occurs in a molecule. That the vibrational rotational changes that is used to identify what is that? Functional group change. Functional groups used to identify what is that? Functional groups in a molecule. The principle of IR spectroscopy is, therefore here another important point is IR spectroscopy also called as IR spectroscopy is also what is that? Absorption spectroscopy. Absorption spectroscopy. Okay, therefore we'll see the principle of IR spectroscopy. Next, then we go for the principle of IR spectroscopy. Principle of IR spectra. Okay, there is a vibrational and rotational changes. Due to that, we can determine what is that? That is all functional groups. All functional groups present in a molecule. We can calculate all functional groups present in a molecule. And the second one, we can easily differentiate. The what is that? That is intra and intermolecular hydrogen bonding present in a molecule. Intra and intramolecular hydrogen bonding also differentiate the inter and intramolecular hydrogen bond. Intra and intramolecular hydrogen bonding present in a molecule. And the third importance of IR spectroscopy is what is that? And also that is with the use of IR spectroscopy we can calculate the cis-trans isomers, or we can differentiate the cis-trans isomers, and also what is that? Determine the conformational isomers. Determine what is that? Conformational isomers. What is that? There is conformational isomers. Conformational isomers and cis-trans isomers. Cis-trans isomers which are present in a molecule can also be determined with the use of IR spectroscopy. What is the principle? Therefore, when that is any molecule observe the light radiation in the region of IR spectroscopy, there is a vibrational rotational changes occurs in a molecule. Due to that, we can calculate the all spectrum, all function group present in a molecule. Function group present in a molecule. Okay. Therefore, when we draw the graph. When we draw the graph between, that is percentage of transmittance and what is that? Wave number. Percentage of transmittance and wave number, we can get what is that? IR spectroscopy. We can get what is that? IR spectroscopy. We'll see different regions are different absorptions different absorption peaks for the different what is that functional groups. Different functional groups. We'll see the different absorption ranges or absorption peaks for the IR for the functional group which are present in a molecule. Which are present in a molecule. Therefore, when we draw a graph between that is the percentage of transmittance, okay, taken on y-axis, and wave number taken on x-axis, new bar taken on x-axis. Okay, at 4,500 to that is the 2,500 regions. 4,500 to 2,500 region. In this region, we will observe the phase. In this region, we will observe the what is that? That is OH stretching and CH stretching and NH stretching. Any molecule which is present, any molecule which contains OH alcohol function group and CH stretching and amines NH function group, we definitely get that one peak in what is that 4,500 to 2,500 centimeter inverse. One peak what is that 4,500 to 2,500 centimeter inverse. In this region, you will get what is that one definitely peak in what is that in this region. And 2,500 to 2,500 to 2,000 centimeter inverse. Therefore, in this region, you will get that is the triple bonds, C triple bond C, okay, and C triple bond N, and dienes C double bond C also present in that molecule. Triple bonds and double bonds are present in a molecule. Therefore, further, we will get a what is that peak in between what is that 2,500 to 2,000 centimeter inverse. In this region, you will get what is that is peaks like this. Okay, we will get peaks like this. Okay, and 2002, what is that? 2002, 1850. Okay, some of the peaks we will observe. Some of the peaks we will observe in 2002 to 1850 and 1852, that is 1650 or 1600 centimeter inverse. 1850 to 600 centimeter inverse, we will get a what is that C double bond was stretching. You will get a peak for the what is that C double bond was stretching. Therefore, in 1850 to 1600 centimeter inverse, is there any peak which is present in the IR spectroscopy? That is definitely belongs to what is that C double bond was stretching. C double bond was stretching. And okay, and 1600 to what is that? 1600 to that is 1500. 1600 to 1500 we will observe that is the double bonds C double bond C. Okay, C double bond. Okay, and okay, is there any double bonds which are present in a compound? We will observe what the peaks 1600 to 1500 and 1500 to that is nearly what is that 667 centimeter inverse or 650 centimeter inverse. We will observe a peaks between what is that is CN, okay, CN stretching and CC stretching and CO stretching and what is that CX stretching. Okay, in between 1500 to 667 centimeter inverse, is there any peaks we are observed in IR spectroscopy that belongs to either CC carbon carbon stretching, carbon nitrogen, CO and CX. CX. Okay, these are the peaks we are observed in IR spectroscopy. First of all, 4500 to 2500 centimeter inverse. Therefore, what is that? OH and CH NH stretching. Okay, 2500 to 2000 centimeter inverse, triple bonds and dienes. Okay, 1850 to 1600. Therefore, we will get what is that? We will get C double bond or stretching. C double bond or stretching. And 1600 to 1500. 1600 to 1500. We will get C double bond C and C double bond N. Okay, C double bond N present in a molecule. And 1500 to 6 inches and centimeter inverse, we will get what is that? CX, CO, CN, CC. Okay, this type of this type of functional groups which are present in a molecule. Therefore, 1500 to 667 region, that is called as the fingerprint region. That is called as that fingerprint. This is very important bit for objective type. Fingerprint. What is the fingerprint region? Nearly exactly with that 1400 to 667 centimeter inverse. That region of frequency is called as the fingerprint region. Fingerprint region. Okay. Therefore, 4500 to 2500 centimeter inverse. We are observing what is that? OH, CH and NH. This region is called as the hydrogen region. This region is called as the hydrogen region. Okay, the frequency which is dependent upon the strength of the bond. Frequency which is dependent upon the strength of the bond. That's why OH bond having more frequency when compared with what is that? NH when compared with what is that? CH. This is the order of frequency dependent upon what is that? Strength of the bond. Dependent upon what is that? Strength of the bond. Therefore, these are the what is that? Different absorption frequency values in different regions. Okay, then we go for different vibrations. The vibrations present in the molecules. There are mainly vibrations. There are mainly two types of vibrations we are observed in a molecule. One is the stretching vibrations, and the second one is the bending vibrations. Stretching vibrations and bending vibrations. What is the stretching vibrations? Stretching vibrations means what is that? Therefore, there is a vibrational changes. There is a vibrational changes. Any vibrational changes observed in a molecule due to that what is that? Bond length. Due to that bond length changes we are observed. That means rhythmical movement. Stretching vibration means what is that? Rhythmical movements in a bonds. Rhythmical movements in a bonds we are observed in a what is that? Molecule. That is called for what is that? That is called for bond length changes. Okay? Stretching vibrations. Vibrations are mainly classified into two types. One is stretching vibrations. And the second one is bending vibrations. Stretching vibrations, and the second one is what is that? Bending vibrations. Okay. Therefore, what is the stretching vibrations? Stretching vibrations means okay, any center atom. There are assume any triatomic molecule. Any triatomic molecule. Therefore, the two atoms which are attached to the center atom, the two atoms which are attached to the center atom, along the axis, is there any changes? Is there any changes in a what is that? Interatomic distance? Is there any interatomic distance observed with respect to the central atom? That is called as what is that? Stretching vibrations. That is called as stretching vibrations. Suppose you can take okay, this is the center atom. Okay, these are the what is that? These two are the what is that? Atoms. Okay, these are two are the bonds. Okay, this is the center atom. These two are the bonds. Therefore, that is the stretching vibration means what is that? The movement of bonds along the axis. movement of bonds along the axis. Due to that, there is a interatomic distance increases and decreases. Due to that, what happens? Therefore, bond length changes. Bond lengths are changes. That is called as stretching vibrations. Okay, along the axis there is a movement of bonds. Due to that, the bond length changes. That is called as stretching vibrations. Stretching vibrations. Stretching vibrations again classified into two types. One is symmetrical stretching. Symmetrical stretching, and the second one is asymmetrical stretching. Second one is what is that? Asymmetrical stretching. Symmetrical and asymmetrical stretching. What is meant by symmetrical? Symmetrical stretching means what is that? That is a bond length. Bond length changes. What is that? That is the two atoms. Therefore, with respect to the central atom, the two atoms, the movement of two atoms away from the molecule are approaching the central atom. Away from the central atoms or approaching the central atom. That means the two atoms directions are different. Two atoms directions are different with respect to the central atom. That is called as what is that? Symmetrical stretching. Symmetrical stretching. Suppose you can observe the central atom. These two are the terminal atoms. These two are the terminal atoms. Therefore, the two atoms either approaching the molecule, approaching the central atom, or either what is that? Departed from the central atom. Either approaching or departing. That means either internuclear distance is increasing or decreasing. That type of vibrations are called as symmetrical vibrations. Symmetrical vibrations. Okay. What about asymmetrical? Asymmetrical along the bond axis. Along the bond axis. Therefore, one terminal atom is approaching the central atom. Another one is what is that? Depart from the central atom. Depart from the central. Therefore, one is depart from the central atom. Another one is what is that? Approaching the central atom. That means the two atoms which are attached to the central atom having same direction. Having what is that? Same direction. Therefore, in that case, the vibrations which are occurred in a molecule, that is called as what is that? Asymmetrical stretching. Asymmetrical stretching. Okay. Therefore, due to that stretching, what is that? There is a bond length changes observed in a molecule. That is the very important point. Bond length changes observed in a molecule. Okay, what about the bending vibrations? Bending vibrations are mainly classified into what is that? Four types. Okay, what about the bending vibrations? Bending vibrations means therefore there is a what is that? Due to that, what is that? Due to the molecules are due to the atoms which are present in a molecule. The movement of the atoms present in a molecule, what is that? That is out of the plane. That is movements are observed. Out of the plane movements are observed due to the movements of bonds. Are bending of bonds. We will observe the what is that? Bond angle changes. Due to the bending of bonds which are present in a molecule, we are observing what is that? That is bond angle changes. Bond angle changes. We are observing what is that? We are observing a molecule. There are four types of bending vibrations present in a molecule. Therefore, two are in plane. Okay, bending vibrations are four types. One is the slithering, rocking. Okay, these two are what is that? In plane bending vibrations, and wagging. And the fourth one is twisting. Wagging and twisting. These two are what is that? Out of plane bending vibrations. We'll see. Okay, briefly what is that? Slithering. What about slithering? What about rocking? What about wagging and twisting? Okay, we'll see again. That is in plane bending vibrations. molecule. Okay, in plane bending vibrations means therefore with respect to central atom, the two atoms which are attached to the central atom, they are what is that is both are approaches to each other. Both are what is that approaches to each other like this. That is what is that in plane, what is that is scissoring. Scissoring means what is that? With respect to central atom, the two atoms which are attached to the central atom, both are what is that? Okay, both are what is that? Approaches to each other. Both are approaches to each other. That is called as scissoring. That is called as what is that? Scissoring, like this. Scissoring like this. Okay, therefore both are approaches to each other. That is called as scissoring. Okay, and the second one is what is that? Scissoring, rocking. Rocking means with respect to central atom. With respect to central atom, one is what is that? Approaches to central atom. Another one is what is that? Departed from this central atom. That means the directions of two atoms are same. Directions of two atoms are same. Therefore, one is depart from the central atom. Another one is what is that? Approaches the central atom. Approaches the central atom. Okay, this is the rocking. Okay, what about what is that? Out of plane bending vibrations. The second one. Okay, out of plane bending vibrations. Then we go for out of plane bending vibrations. What is that? One is the vacuum. Vacuum means with respect to the central atom, the two atoms which are attached to the central atom. One is what is that? There is the two atoms are move up, or what is that? Two atoms are what is that? Move down. Okay, two atoms which are attached to the move up or move down. Move down. That type of vibrations are called as what is that? Vacuum. Okay, therefore that is twisting. Twisting means what is that? That is with respect to the central atom, one atom moves up, one atom moves down. One atom moves up, one atom moves down. One atom moves up, one atom moves down. Okay, here both are up, both are moves up, or both are moves down. Moves down. That type of vibrations are vacuum. One molecule or one atom with respect to central atom moves up, one atom with respect to central atom moves down. Okay, therefore this type of that is vibrations are called as twisting. Okay, therefore that is in plane bending vibrations are scissoring and rocking, and out plane bending vibrations are vacuum and twisting. Then we go for the number of vibrations. Number of vibrations present in a molecule. Total number of present in a. How to calculate total number of vibrations present in a molecule? There are three types of vibrations. Three types of rotational freedom. Three types of what is that? Degrees of freedom present in a molecule. One is vibrational degrees of freedom, and the second one is rotational degrees of freedom, and the third one is the translational degrees of freedom. Any molecule which contains three types of degrees of freedom. One is the vibrational degrees of freedom, rotational degrees of freedom, and the third one is the translational degrees of freedom. Okay, therefore any molecule which contains n number of atoms present in a molecule. For that molecule, the total number of rotational freedoms are 3n. Total number of degrees of freedom equal to 3n. Therefore, that is in a molecule, total number of degrees of freedom. Degree of freedom is equal to what is that? Suppose n molecules or n atoms are present, total number of degrees of freedom equal to 3n. Therefore, we will Therefore, that is the total number of vibrational degrees of freedom. Vibrational degrees of freedom, that is equal to 3n minus total number of rotational degrees of freedom minus total number of translational degrees of freedom. Total number of rotational degrees of freedom and the total number of translational degrees of freedom. Therefore, that is the total number of vibrational degrees of freedom, that is equal to 3n minus 3 minus 3. Therefore, 3n minus 6. Therefore, in a molecule, the total number of vibrational degrees of freedom, that is equal to 3n minus 6. Okay? In a non-linear molecule, the total number of vibrational degrees of freedom equal to 3n minus 6. In a linear molecule, that is equal to, what is that? This is for non-linear molecule. And for a linear molecule, vibrational degrees of freedom is equal to 3n minus 5. Okay? Why it is decreasing 6 to 5? It is converted to 6 to 5. Why? Because in case of a linear molecule, we are not considering along the axis rotational degrees of freedom. We are not considered. That's why what is that? That is equal to what is that? 3n minus 5. Okay? This is the vibrational degrees of freedom. Okay? Then we go for Hooke's law. For stretching vibrations. Hooke's law for stretching vibrations. Hooke's law for stretching vibrations. What about the Hooke's law? We know that every bond in a molecule which is associated with one of the characteristic property, that is force constant. Therefore, any bond which is present in a molecule which is associated with the characteristic property, that is force constant F. What about Hooke's law? Hooke's law is it gives a relationship between what is that? The frequency, vibrational frequency. Relationship between what is that? Frequency of the molecule and frequency and masses present in the atoms, and also it gives what is that? Relationship between what is that? Force constant. What is that? One is vibrational frequency versus the force constant and masses of atoms present in a molecule. Therefore, the formula is what is that? Therefore, nu bar is equal to F by what is that? Mu A. F by mu A. Why by mu? F by mu equal to that? F by mu is the reduced mass. F by what is that? That is MA and MB by what is that? MA plus MB. Okay, here nu bar is what is that? Nu bar is the frequency, and that is what is that? F is what is the force constant, M is the MA and MB are what is that? The masses of atoms present in a molecule. Okay, then this is the Hooke's law. Okay, then we go for selection rules. What is that? Selection rules. Selection rules means which vibrations are active and which vibrations are forbidden. Therefore, when any molecule which absorbs the radiation in the region of ion, that molecule must be there is a dipole moment changes, dipole moment differences present in that molecule, in that the molecule contains dipole moment differences, those molecules can only observe that IR frequency, can only observe the IR frequency. If there is no dipole moment changes or dipole moment differences, those molecules are inactive. Those molecules are inactive. Suppose you can take the best example, that is C double bond O. Okay, CO2 molecule. Okay, CO2 molecule. Here there is no the dipole moment mu equal to 0. Why? Therefore here oxygen, both are the same atoms. We are running that both are dragging the bonds with the same strength. Dragging the bonds with the same strength. The dipole moment is same. Dipole moment is same. That's why what is that? This molecule is IR inactive. IR inactive. That means the molecule which is having dipole moment is 0. That is the IR inactive molecule. That is IR inactive molecule. Therefore, these are the symmetry checking. Suppose in a carbon dioxide there are what is that? Asymmetric stretching. That means two bonds. Okay, two atoms which are what is that? Dragging same direction. Which are dragging what is that? Which are stretching in same directions. There is a dipole moment is present. Therefore, this is what is that? There is a dipole moment is present, not equal to 0. Therefore, in that case, this is the IR active compound. That means the compound which contains center of symmetry. Center of symmetry means any plane which is passes through the substance, that plane which can cut or which can divide the molecule two equal halves, that molecule contains what is the center of symmetry. Any molecule contains a center of symmetry, those molecules are IR inactive. Any molecule which does not contain center of symmetry, those molecules are IR active. Suppose another example, you can take benzene. What is that? Benzene. All hydrogens are what is that? All hydrogens have equal strength. All hydrogens which are attached to the carbon, equal strength. Therefore, benzene, the dipole moment is 0. That's why benzene is what is that? IR inactive. These are the selection rules of what is that? IR spectroscopy. Okay. Therefore, the molecule which contains what is that? Dipole moment is 0. That molecule does not observe the IR frequency. That's why that is the IR inactive molecule. The molecule which does not have or which didn't have what is that is the center of symmetry. Therefore, that molecule is the IR active molecule. Okay, these are the best examples for that is that selection rules of IR spectroscopy. This is the entire chapter. Okay, thank you.